Thank you.
Thanks, Steph. Blue Ivy, Marlowe, Exton. Their names given to the sons and daughters of the rich and famous this year. While the trend for unusual celebrity baby names shows no sign of slowing down, the rest of us, though, it seems, are becoming more traditional.
Yes, the top 100 boys and girls names of 2012 are out today. It appears that the year of royal celebration in Downton Abbey may have had an influence, with Harry, William, Violet and Isabel all featuring highly.
So we asked a few mums and dads how they chose their child's name.
My dad's grandmother was from Georgia, and because it's like more of a common name in Russia, I think, Nina.
I just wanted traditional names that don't date. And we liked it.
Well, it took us about 3 days to get round to it, and it was the only one that me and my husband agreed on, and that was, that was the only thing.
And my girlfriend chose it.
No way.
It's a family name. They've decided to keep it in the family and just keep on the tradition.
Hugo, my grandson's Hugo, after Hugo Boss.
Well, it's maybe a name that suited the baby, Hugo Boss. Yeah. Joining us, the historian Kate Williams and Siobhan Thomas, author of Best Baby Names for 2013. Good morning.
Morning, babe.
First of all, I've got to ask you, those celebrity names, Exton, Blue Ivy, where on earth do they dream them up?
I think it's their intention to surprise. I don't think anybody really copies them. I think they create a lot of debate, but you rarely see them featuring in any actual charts of what people choose to call their
You
children.
don't think Blue's going to catch on?
No, I don't think so.
Because Beyonce was absolutely convinced she was going to keep it to herself, wasn't she? No one else was allowed to be called Blue Ivy.
I think it empowers people to be a little bit more adventurous. It creates a lot of debate around names, and people are keen to stamp some identity, unique identity on their children with their names, but I don't think those names will ever be really popular.
So, Kate, it looks like we're going a bit more traditional.
Yes, I think it's interesting, isn't it? How we're much more traditional, and we can choose whatever we want. I mean, a lot of countries in the world, we're told what names, we have to choose certain sets of names. In China, they're running out of names. France, they sometimes feel a bit too, narrow with names. We can do whatever we want, but we tend to choose the same ones. And I think this is interesting. Most parents think they're choosing something really original. We have often the same ones, and a lot of historical ones, a lot of royal ones. Harry's
up at number one.
Harry is number one. And there's perennial royal names that are quite popular: Elizabeth, Charles, William. We do like them. We do like the traditional names, but actually the names that we think are traditional often aren't so. They're often, when they're named in the first place, they're seen as kind of ridiculous. I mean, Victoria, when she was called Victoria, we think that's a very old name, but Victoria, when she was called it, completely made up, completely laughed at.
Was it made up?
It was made up on the moment, but basically to signify that she wouldn't be queen because it was such a stupid name. So really, it's the equivalent of kind of calling her, Chardonnay or Brittany or Peaches, and it was seen as that stupid. But now it's such a traditional name. I mean, Vicky for girls couldn't be more old school, really.
Well, Siobhan, how popular now are Chardonnay, Brittany and Peaches? And what's the new Chardonnay? What's this year's Chardonnay?
I don't think any of those are featuring in the top 100 at the moment, but I think the ones that grabbed the headlines, there was one in November, the lady that called her baby hashtag. She was a passionate Twitter user.
Is that a boy or a girl?
A girl, a baby girl. Yeah,
not even hashtagger.
No.
It's amazing the names that we've been told about this morning. I mean, Suzanne tweeted this morning they're Star Wars fans, so their son is called Anakin, which would be okay, but the cat's called Yoda.
And I also love the way the way that people come to choose the names. Sadie says, I was named after the cow in the field next to where my parents were living at the time they had me. It is extraordinary, isn't it, the sort of process people go through?
Well, I mean, Margot Hemingway was named after her parents' favourite bottle of wine.
Yeah. It seems parents, and I speak as one who has experience here, sometimes your mind just sort of goes blank, not for a few minutes, for weeks on end while you try to think of a name for your child.
Yeah, some people find it really difficult, but that's probably why the top 10 names and even the top 100 names are kind of almost a bit bland. They're the safe names, because even after a lot of deliberation, people do tend to come back to the classic names that they feel are timeless. That's one of the things that people are really concerned about.
What would your advice be to people when they're thinking about their children, what they should name them? What should they be thinking about? I mean, the traditional ones are, they're nice, solid names. Not going to get any trouble, are you?
Well, I think that's it. I think you need to think long term, and it's perhaps not necessarily your right to choose something very frivolous.
Yeah, and briefly, because we're running out of time, a certain royal baby being born next year. Will there be pressure for that baby to have a traditional name because one royal granddaughter is called Savannah.
Yes, indeed. Savannah. Peter Phillips's daughter is called Savannah, and she's obviously a long way from the throne, but there's still a vague possibility that she could one day be possibly Queen Savannah. But the thing is with the royals, they have lots of names. You know, you and I, we only have one or two, but they have loads, 5 or 6, so they can choose. But there will usually be some traditional ones. I mean, but we'll probably see Elizabeth in there, and you know, if it's a girl, and James and Harry if it's a boy.
Great-granddaughter of the Queen,
Great
obviously.
And it's important to the next one, isn't it? Because they could be king or queen.
King or queen, so, you know, maybe Queen Chardonnay.
All right. Oh, there's something to look forward to. Thank you both very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Still to come on Breakfast, Peter Jackson certainly noticed